Okay, welcome to the AE training. This is one of 3 videos. It's really just to give you a quick idea and confidence to work around or work within After Effects and start being creative with some of your own projects. I'm hoping that by the end of these 3 videos you will feel a little bit more confident and ready to have a go. Obviously, there's much more in-depth training with various books and also Linda training video, which is an excellent way of really getting to grips with the package in much more detail. Okay, so we're going to start here by, we come up with this intro box. We're going to close that down. Let me give you a quick run around the interface. So up here we have the workspace area, and I suggest that you make sure that you click on Effects. That will give you the easiest interface that you're going to need for this particular project. Okay, so let's get straight into it without going into too much detail. Much of this interface is similar to Premiere. So if you've been using Premiere, many of the tools are the same within After Effects, and you should feel quite confident. We've only got one box here, though, in which to see our project rather than the 2 windows as you would do in Premiere. Okay, so let's import some files. So I double click in this area here, and you need to have downloaded the exercise files. There should be 3 folders. We're going to be working with O1. The O1.mov is a quick demonstration of what we're going to try to achieve. There we go, we can see it here. So this is effectively what we're going to try and do. Just create something similar to this on the beat of the music that's coming out of that, or the sound that's coming out. Okay, we're going to import animation and MP3. I'm just holding down the Shift key so that I can select all of them and importing them into my project. The first thing I'm going to need to do is to go up to Composition and start a new composition. See, similar to creating a sequence in Premiere. And what I have here are the key things that I need: 1920 by 1080, that's my HD, and square pixels down here. And then I press OK, and that's created effectively a sequence, or a composition as we call it in After Effects. Okay, now the first thing I'm going to do is to drag my sound file down onto this, and it's going to just drop it in right there. Just bring it down here, and again, like in Premiere, I can change the size by scrolling down here or pressing the plus key as I'm doing there to bring it up to a bit of a bigger size. Okay, so let's bring that to the very beginning. Now, to play this, if I just press the space key, you'll see it play along, but you don't hear anything. So to get it to play, what I'm going to need to do is to press this button here, the RAM preview, and that will allow me to hear what I'm getting. So those are the noises that are coming out. Okay, next thing to do is to put the animation down. I'm going to start here with the flare, and I'm going to drag that just above it here, and you can see it there. Now I can just move that to the beginning, and then I'm going to drag the animation and smoke particles and do the same thing. Just drag it down here and drag it just above. Let go, and there we have it. So now we have 3 layers here. Our problem is that top layer is obscuring the layer below. So what I'm going to do is to select that layer and then just change it from normal to add, and that will allow me to see what's underneath it. And again, to play that, I need to press this RAM preview, otherwise I'll only get the visuals without the sound. So there we go. It's going to go through the process of just quickly rendering it before it can play, and now it's playing. And you can see we're getting everything synced and nice together as one quick animation. Okay, so all I need to do now is to add text, and you should feel quite familiar with this. So what I want to do is to look for the places where we go. So that's the first big spurt of light, and that's really where I want to come in with my first piece of text. Up to the text tool, and click on the text tool, and then type in the box, in this case, this. And then again, using the selection tool here, I can then move that into place. Now you'll notice down here that it's put the text right the way across the whole piece, and I don't need that, so I'm just going to drag that to the end here, and that means that it's going to start exactly as it comes out the flash, and bang, this, and then we were looking for the next big light burst as I'm coming across here. and there it is right there. So I'm going to go to the next, I'm going to go up and create another layer with another piece of text, and I'm going to write is, and again I'm going to bring that down. Now you'll notice here on the right I've got all sorts of things. I can change the font, very similar again within Premiere, and I can change the size, and I can change all sorts of other dimensions and add drop shadows and all sorts of things down here within the character box. For now I'm just going to leave it like this, and again I'm going to need to drag that to the point here where it's going to flash in. So we come in, this is, and then we're waiting for the pulse. There's a pulse there, and I'm going to do my first. I think you get the idea with one pulse, and again I'm going to drag that to the beginning onto there, and then I'm just going to have AE on the next pulse. So boop, there, right there on my next pulse, and I'm just going to put AE and drag that down. Okay, now I could go into more data. You can be much more creative and try and make it look a little bit different, but let's just play that and see what it looks like. So, oops, I didn't bring the last, didn't change this last one. Let me just do that now. So there's the pulse right there. I'm going to drag that to here. Okay, so let's press again the RAM preview, and it's going to go back to the beginning, and you can see. Okay, so I've completed now my first project, as simple as it might be, and all I need to do now is to export it or output it, so I can then compress it and send it somewhere, or I can bring it into a Premiere project. Now to do that, I first need to set the area along the timeline that I want to use, and to do that I just drag the mouse to the end of the movie. And as you can see, there's lots more stuff here that's been added which I don't need. So to do that I'm going to press the N key and the N for no, and then you can see that's now automatically created a work area that I want to work within. Next I'm going to go up to composition, and I'm going to add it to the render queue. That is ready to render out and make a movie, and I go down to the output here, and I click where it says lossless, and then I can choose my settings. So at the moment I've got a QuickTime setting, and then I can choose my format option. At the moment it's animation. I quite like to use the ProRes, there, ProRes LT. That's okay. One thing you've got to remember also is to click the audio output. It doesn't by default automatically render out the audio, and then you're just left with the video without it. Press that OK, and then all I need to do is to press render. I might also want to, choose a name and a place where I want to put it. So I'm going to put it in that same folder for now and press render. And that's it. That is the end of your first introduction. Please feel free to be as creative and try things as you like. Mine is very simple, but you might want to do something a little bit more complicated and render it out, and then you're ready to go to the next movie.